Aiden FUCCI, who the video we're going to watch is about, stabbed Tristyn Bailey over 113 times. Tristyn Bailey was 13 years old. He spoke about killing people, and on more than one occasion, he would sneak up behind his girlfriend and act all weird and act like he was cutting her throat. Aiden FUCCI is the 14-year-old schoolmate of Bailey. He was charged as an adult with the murder. He always carried a knife on him when he was not in school, and he would pretend to stab people. He wanted to find a random person, walk up behind them, drag them into the woods, and stab them. He would call his knives Picker and Poker. He had left Picker at his girlfriend's house. The knife matching Poker, which was a folding buck knife, was recovered by a diver in the pond near where Tristyn's body was found. After the discovery of Tristyn's body, the boy's parents spoke with him in an interview room. When his parents said, "Hey, Tristyn's dead," he said, "How's that my problem?" She said, "Hey, you're the last one to see her." And they said, "Hey, you know they have DNA nowadays." Both parents told him to find his story and stick to it. Aiden's mom hand-washed his jeans for him. Aiden and Bailey were saw together on a camera at a community center in their neighborhood at 1:24 a.m. They were also seen at 1:45 a.m. At 3:30 a.m., Aiden returned home alone. This was literally right around Mother's Day. I want you to imagine that many people who knew Aiden said he was the numb kid. That meant, when they asked, "What do you mean?" They said, "He's just the kind of kid you could see as a murderer, you know?" The boy gave differing accounts of his actions between 1:10 a.m. on May 9th. He said when he left Tristyn's house at around 3:30 a.m., he told investigators they walked a short way together, they parted ways, etc. He also said that Tristyn grabbed his penis and he pushed her or shoved her. She fell, hit her head, and then he just walked away. He said he didn't know if she got up or not, and he just walked around a while by himself and was thinking after the incident. Let's watch this court video, and that's all we can do from this point on. We do know that Tristyn Bailey, like I always say, is an angel, and she has saved a lot of lives because he's a young killer, and he won't be able to kill again.
I would submit that this case is probably the most difficult and shocking case that this county in St. Johns County has dealt with. In the 20 years that I have been, or 16 years that I have been practicing law, and the 30 years that I have lived and worked in this all of Northeast Florida, this case is one of only a very small few that had this level and this type of impact on the community. This court gives this factor great weight. As to the last two remaining factors, the effect, if any, of immaturity, impetuosity, or failure to appreciate the risks and consequences of the defendant's participation in the offense, and the effect of the crime, and the nature and circumstances of the offense committed by the defendant. These factors are somewhat combined. "114 stab wounds, 49 defensive wounds, 35 wounds to the head and neck, 29 to the back and shoulder, and 6 fatal wounds." This court has reviewed and seen more than its fair share of autopsy photos. The autopsy photos in this particular case were particularly difficult. The 49 defensive wounds indicate that Tristyn Bailey was conscious, that she was aware, and that she was doing everything she could to fend off this attack. She suffered a painful, horrifying death from someone that she trusted. Her screams were most likely stifled by her own suffocating lungs. He lured her into a secluded place in the woods near his home, a person that she trusted, and he led her there under false pretenses. There was a heightened level of premeditation in this case. Based on the prior statements that he made to his girlfriend and his friend, he indicated that he was going to kill someone. At which point he determined that it was going to be Tristyn Bailey, I don't know. But there was going to be a victim. He indicated that how he was going to do it. That he would take them into a wooded place, that he would stab them, he would kill them and then run away so that he could keep on killing. He told his best friend that he wanted to kill someone to see what it felt like, and he wanted to watch them bleed out. This particular crime was committed with the weapon of choice as a knife, which he nicknamed Poker. That required a up-close, personal, type of murder that is rare. It's unique. The court accepts that in 2019, of all juvenile arrests, only 7% were violent and only 1% of those were homicides. This crime is clearly an outlier, and it was shocking, and it is shocking to the conscience. This court finds that the defendant's participation in this offense was not the result of immaturity or impetuosity. He understood the risks and consequences of his actions. He previously told his girlfriend that he was going to do this. That clearly shows that he had been planning it. He attempted to cover it up by disposing of the murder weapon and throwing it into a lake. He then attempted to conceal evidence by hiding his shoes and shirt and jeans, taking a shower, stealthily entering his home, and then the actions immediately after, with the Snapchat videos in the back of the police car and the story that he made up about pushing her and her hitting her head, which was clearly refuted by the video evidence in this case. All of that shows, and this court finds, that this was not an immature or impetuous type of crime. It makes it unique. It makes it extraordinary. What is also very troubling is that this crime had no motive. This was not done out of greed. It was not done in retaliation, retribution, or revenge. It was not a crime of passion. It was not a crime that was committed because he felt rejected by her. It was not done in a fit of uncontrollable anger. There was no reason. There was no purpose. It was done for no other reason than to satisfy this defendant's internal desire to feel what it was like to kill someone. It was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense for moral or legal justification. It was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. This factor and this factor alone makes this case and this defendant more than just unique. It is for this reason and all of the reasons previously stated that leads this court to the conclusion that there is only one appropriate sentence in this case. Mr. Fucci, if you and your attorneys would please rise. Counsel, is there any legal reason why this court cannot impose sentence at this time?
Okay.
Mr. Fucci, having entered a plea of guilty to the crime of first-degree murder, I adjudicate you guilty of the premeditated first-degree murder of Tristyn Bailey. I sentence you to life in prison. Because of your age, you are eligible for review of the sentence in 25 years. I order the Department of Corrections to notify you when you are eligible to apply for your review hearing. Madam Clerk, if you will please impose the minimum fines and court costs. Mr. Fucci, you have 30 days to appeal the legality of this court's sentence. If you wish to appeal but cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. You will be taken back to the Duval County Jail and then transported into the Florida State Prison System. We are adjourned.